Hello students, welcome to my channel once again. Let us start today with chapter number 6 in biology, that is plant water relation. In today's video we are going to study plant water relation in deep concept. You can also use this PowerPoint presentation which I have used in my video as your notes, as it is the same pattern which we are using in HSC exams. Okay, so kindly watch the full video for best concepts and notes. Let us start with the chapter today. Can you recall which are the various parts of plant body? As we all know, this is the basic question. The various parts of plant body are leaves, roots, stem and root hair. The second question they have given is what are the function of various part of plant body? This is also a basic question we are studying since our school time. The function of leaf is photosynthesis, the function of root is absorption, whereas the function of stem is providing stability, in which xylem and phloem is there. Okay. Then next they have asked you which plant tissues are involved in transport of water and minerals. Friends, we all know that epidermal tissues is involved in the transport of water and minerals. Now here epidermal, epi stands for above and dermal means layer present in the root or roots hai. Okay, the point behind discussing this is to give you a gist or a revision about whatever we know about the plant. Okay, move to the next slide, that is using our brain power. Here what they have asked us is, you know that we need a water pump to lift water at the top of a building, but how does the plant lift water from soil up to canopy without any pump? For example, friends, let us imagine if we are living in a building or a skyscraper, we need a pressure or a motor to put a pressure to water to reach to the terrace. So how does this same mechanism is done in the plants? Leaf also require water. So how they are going to transport the water? So let us discuss this today in detail, that which force or condition help in this. As we all have studied this, that is in 9th standard, so let us revise it. If a plant is there, root hair absorb water, pass through the root and then from stem and finally reaches to all the leaves. In this way, all the leaves gets water. Okay, this we have already learnt earlier. But then the question arises, is there any pumping system or any mechanism which did all these things? So basically the concept behind this is root have a small cells which absorb water. Okay, students, here I am giving you just a basic idea what we are going to learn in the chapter. This is just a basic idea, so don't get confused over here. Okay, root hairs have small cells which absorb water from the soil and get swollen. Slowly, each cell is filled with water and then all the cell gets swollen one by one. They start putting pressure on one another, and in this way, by using this root pressure, the water is transported to the leaves by the help of xylem. Okay, this is just an overview which we are going to study in deep in this chapter. Okay, clear? So let us start with the chapter. Next, let us study why water is so much important for the plants. Water is not only required for plants, but also it is very important for us, we human beings. We human beings will not be able to be survive without water. So let us discuss the importance of water for plants. Plants get substances like water, minerals, nutrients, food and gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide from the surrounding. Now, plant get water from the surrounding like other substances. The second point they have given is water is auxiliary of life. Now, what this auxiliary means? It is basically a Hindi word known as Amrit. Means it is the whole and soul of the life of plant. Okay. The next point say water constitute 90 to 95% of most plant cells and tissues. mean all the plant substances or tissues, for example cellulose, proteins and other nutrients are there. In most of them 90 to 95% content is of water only. Okay. The fourth point, water helps cell to maintain turgidity and shape. Now what do you mean by turgidity? Now turgidity mean, for example, as we have discussed earlier, the cell in the root hair absorb water and get swollen. Then by the process of osmosis or diffusion or imbibition, they transfer the water to another cell. This is called as turgidity. Okay. Now next, that is properties of water. The first property they have given in properties of water is it is in liquid form at room temperature and is the best solvent for most of the solutes. Now liquid form in the room temperature, as they have told that water is in liquid state when it is in room temperature, and it is the best solvent for most of the solute. Now for example, if we take solute as sugar and solvent as water, we add sugar plus water, it will give us a solution of sugar. Okay. If we are going to use oil as a solvent, it is not going to give you a particular solution. So water is the most essential and important part in a solution. It is used as a solvent. Okay. The second point they have given is it is inert inorganic compound with neutral pH when in pure form. Due to this, water acts as a best transporting medium for dissolved minerals and food molecules. So, it is inert inorganic compound as it is able to change its state in all forms. For example, if you keep oil for freezing, it will not change its state. Water can change its state in all the three forms. So, it is called as inert inorganic compound. Its pH is also neutral when it is in pure form. Then the third point they have given is it is the best aqueous medium for all the biochemical reaction. Here students keep in mind that it is best aqueous medium for only all the biochemical reactions occurring in the cell. It is essential raw material for photosynthesis. Now water helps in photosynthesis in aqueous medium. Okay. So it reacts with all the biochemical compounds. Now what is aqueous? Aqueous means any liquid material in which maximum amount of water is used. Okay. So now you can tell me that it can be then any liquid you can call aqueous. No. But any liquid, if it is mixed, it is not called as aqueous. If only water is mixed with some other liquid, it is called as aqueous medium. Okay. Next point they have given is water has high specific heat, high heat vaporization and high heat of fusion. Due to this, it acts as thermal buffer. Okay. Water has a high specific heat, that is you have already studied in physics thermodynamic chapter number 4, that is C equals to mc delta T. Okay. Then water has a high heat of vaporization. It is very at high heat. Okay. Then high heat of fusion also it has. So it acts as a thermal buffer. Then next they have given is this various properties are due to hydrogen bonds between water and between the water molecules. Okay. So hydrogen bonds. Now you are going to ask me, ma'am, what is hydrogen bonds? So hydrogen bond is any chemical where hydrogen atom combine with electronegative substance. That is hydrogen bonds. For example, if H plus ions form a bond with OH minus ion, the bonds formed between both the ions are called as hydrogen bonds. Okay, clear with this? Now next is water absorbing organs. Now basically we all know the water absorbing organs in plant is root and root hair. Okay, so let us study this in detail. So root is main organ of water and mineral absorption. Okay. Then second they have given is terrestrial plant absorb water in form of liquid from the soil. Terrestrial plants which are on land, okay, absorb water from the soil. Okay. All these things are jumbled up in the textbook, so I have made these points very nicely point wise in a notes form, so you can use the same to write in the exam. Okay. Then third point is epiphytic plant like orchid absorb water vapors from air with the help of epiphytic root having special tissues called velamen. There are some plants whose roots are not properly developed. They are called as epiphytic plants. They absorb water from the air from special tissues. Means there are special tissues present in these plants which are called as velamen. Okay. The fourth point they have given is root having a zone of absorption called as root hair zone made up of epidermal cells. Okay. So roots having zone as shown in the diagram which have four regions or four zones. Okay. In which root hair zone is the zone where maximum absorption takes place. Or you can say where absorption takes place. Okay, where all the roots hair are present and absorption are taken place in the root hair itself. Okay, so it is done by the epidermal cells which allow absorption of water from the surrounding. Okay, next, now let us discuss about single root hair. So let us go to the single root hair. Now we are going to study the structure of root hair. Okay. It is a cytoplasmic elongation of epidermic cells. Root hair is made up of epidermal cells. So epidermal cells are elongated along with the cytoplasma. Okay. So it is called as cytoplasmic elongation of epidermic cells. Second point is having tube-like structure approx 1 to 10 mm long. It is having a tube-like structure whose length is about 1 to 10 mm long. Third they have given is it is colorless, unbranched, short-lived and very delicate. It is colorless, does not have any color. It is unbranched, it is very short-lived and is very delicate. Okay. Then fourth point is it has a large central vacuole surrounded by a thin wall. Now what is the function of vacuole? The function of vacuole is it stores food. Okay. The vacuole here function as storage of food. Okay. Then they have given it has thin wall of 2 layers. Okay. It is having a thin wall made up of 2 layers in which the outer layer is made up of pectin whereas the inner layer is made up of cellulose. Okay. In which outer layer is made up of pectin, that is a protein, and inner layer is made up of cellulose. Okay. Then next we are going to study is water available to roots for absorption. Okay. Now plant absorb water to rhizosphere. Now students, tell me what is rhizosphere. Now rhizo means micro or small and sphere is area or environment. So as the name suggests, we can make a idea. Okay. So root only absorb water which is present in its environment. That is rhizosphere. Okay. So basically rhizosphere is a environment next to the root hair. Okay. So whatever water is present in this environment on this area, that much of water is absorbed by the root hair. Okay. Then next is types of water. Okay. So types of water present on the surrounding of root hair. Basically students, there are 4 types of water which are present surrounding the root hair. Okay. So first is gravitational water. Water percolates due to gravity in soil. This water is called as gravitational water. Okay. This water is not available to plants for absorption. Here the water which is percolated is not used by the plant for absorption purpose. So gravitational water is moving through soil by force of gravity. Okay. So this water is basically not used by the plant for the absorption purpose. Then second type of water is hygroscopic water. Now what is hygroscopic water? Water present in the soil or imbibed in the soil is called as hygroscopic water. Okay. So as this water is imbibed by the soil itself, so the root hair does not absorb this water. Okay. So this water is also not used by the root hair for the absorption purpose. Then let us go to the third type of water, that is combined water. Now what is combined water? The water which is present in oxides or chemical compound which are present in the particles of soil. So they are also not available to the plants because this water is present in the oxide itself. So it is not available to the plants for absorption purpose. Now the fourth type of water is capillary water. Now some amount of water is held in the pores present between the neighboring soil particles due to capillarity. This capillary water is available for absorption for the plants. Now here capillary action helps bring water up in the roots. Okay. Now the plants the capillary action help them to bring the water up to the roots, but capillary action can only pull the water up to a small distance, not able to overcome the gravitational force, to overcome the gravity. So to get the water up to the leaves and branches, the force of cohesion and adhesion is used, which transport the water to the xylem. In this way, the water is available to the plants. Okay, so basically in this we have seen in all the four types of water, only the capillary water is the water which is available for the plant for the absorption purpose. Okay, with this way we have completed the reduced syllabus of this chapter. Only this much is there in this chapter as the chapter has been reduced. Okay, hope you like this video. Thank you. For any query you can comment in the comment box. Okay, or for further upcoming chapter and notes kindly like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.